Anthony Mackie does not have to be the way he is with every single person that approaches him to be like, hey man, keep up the good work. Hey, I love your work. Oh my God, if it's cool with you, could I get a picture or whatever? Nah.
Sam Wilson's Captain America is a much better Captain America for people today than Steve Rogers. And that's for a few reasons. The first one is Steve Rogers, the original Captain America, is this idealized version of a...
We definitely need to talk about Sam Wilson and the actor Anthony Mackie. And as you couldn't tell from the two videos I put at the beginning of this, there is a divide over the fandom of this character within the MCU of Sam Wilson. And I'm one of the many voices in this divide, right? I do not think Sam Wilson is a great character. I do not think he's a great representation of a Black character. And to get deeper into the person that wears the mask or plays the character of Sam Wilson, I don't think he's the best actor. I can't place the blame solely on the actor Anthony Mackie. There's enough blame to spread around on this bread that is the MCU. So I've broken this up into three parts. The first part is the studio's fault. The second part is the characterization. I don't know why I couldn't say that word, characterization of Sam, right, making him feel credible as Captain America. And the third and final part is Anthony Mackie. Now, I may jump back and forward a bit, but it's all connected. And let me start off with this blunt take. Sam Wilson is the worst character in the MCU. Honestly, he might be the worst Avenger at actually avenging. Again, I don't fully blame Anthony Mackie, nor do I fully blame Kevin Feige. The MCU was laser focused during phases 1 through 3 to get to Endgame. Legacy characters were an afterthought, and a lot of development of these characters fell through the cracks. Now, Bucky gets a pass because he was hard baked into Steve Rogers' story as far as, his first movie, Captain America, the First Avenger. So he was there from day one. The same could be said for Rhodey. Again, he's a day one guy, so his story and timeline is baked into there. The care for this character is baked into it. But after that, Marvel really had no plans for its legacy characters. Shows like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and Werewolf by Night, the exception being WandaVision, feels rushed, unfocused, poorly thought out, and Sam Wilson suffers from this the absolute most. Those of you who don't know, I spent a large portion of my life as a pro wrestler. So storytelling and booking is in my DNA. And so to explain how Marvel failed Sam, I need to talk about the WWE. When the WWE needed a new face for the company to replace John Cena, they didn't just tell us that Roman was the guy, they proved it to us. Roman battled the top male wrestlers in his industry at that time to seal a spot in the Rumble. He went to the Rumble and again fought other top tier male talent of the WWE at that time to become the winner of the Royal Rumble. You see what we're doing? We're building the new face. We're making him a credible warrior. We're proving that he's willing to go the distance and pick himself back up again. He's also the second person to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And that might be a flawed take. Somebody let me know in the comments below, but I'll say this. If I am wrong, but I'll say this. He is the second person to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania when it mattered. And then he was put into a very long rivalry with Brock Lesnar. Now, Roman took a lot of losses, as did Brock's, but Roman's losses meant more. And the fact that Roman kept showing up to face this Godzilla of a wrestler proved that he was willing to weather the storm and go through this journey to become the guy. By the time Roman finally won and became the WWE champion, the audience believed it. So much so that Roman could be gone months, hell, even years off of TV and come back as the guy. That's how much the audience believes him to be the guy from his journey. That's how you build a legacy character. Marvel never did this for Sam. Sam's appearances in the MCU, which led me to this hypothesis, this theory, this thesis I have about the character of Sam Wilson within the MCU. The moment Sam appears, he's kind of treated like a punchline. There's this line that's written for Sam that I just wish was never said or put down on paper or even typed, but he describes himself as doing the same thing Cap can do, but slower. And that was, I remember watching him say that, and I was just so uncomfortable by that. It just made me feel really weird, but it set the tone for how Marvel perceived this character and would treat him. Later on in the Ant-Man movie, he gets a cameo in there. And this is like another mark or another piece of the disrespect to the character of Sam Wilson, because Ant-Man's first day out as Ant-Man, well, Scott Lang that is, Ant-Man totally beats the Falcon. Now, it's a back and forth, but Ant-Man wins this. And I know what you're thinking, that's kind of not a big deal. Well, it kind of is a big deal. Sam's been at this game for a while, so for him to take a loss like that, and then right after he loses, he goes, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says something along the lines of, I really need Captain not to know about this, which further plays into it. And again, I know what you're saying. Like, it's not a big deal, but to me it is. You see, because once we get to Civil War and Sam sees Scott again, Sam never gets his lick back. If I can reference something, this is sort of like the Thor Hulk thing. You know, after Thor does what he does to the Hulk gets his lick back. We remember that moment. We all laughed when he did it. This moment is never given to Sam. In fact, they're put on the same team, so he can't do it. And all I needed really was a scene where maybe Sam decks Scott and is like, okay, I got you back. Now we can work together. Kind of like RDJ and Brandon T. Jackson in Tropic Thunder. There's that scene when RDJ's character slaps Brandon T. Jackson's character, and Brandon T says to RDJ's character, I'm going to tag you back. And we do a full circle moment because he indeed tags him back. Sam never gets that. There's never a rematch or a payoff or not even a joke reversal there later. So it's just weird. Now, the disrespect continues in Civil War. And again, I don't know who on the MCU team does not like Sam, but they don't like him, because then when Rhodey takes an L and he collapses to the ground and RDJ is holding him and like it's that big cry moment and Falcon comes down to apologize, Tony Stark no-scopes him. And again, this is something else that is not like, it's just wild to me. Like, nobody defends him. He just takes that L. So, mind you, since his creation to now, to Civil War, he's just been taking L's. And this is another one where I can't blame the studios. I feel like after seeing enough interviews, which we'll get into with Anthony Mackie, I feel like this was him in the studios doing, but we're going to get into this. So this show is supposed to build Sam Wilson as Captain America. Instead, what it does is it undermines him. Sam is written as oblivious to racism and injustice. This is the wildest part because the show introduces racial profiling, and Bucky, the white character, is the one who's calling this out. Sam downplays it, which is insane. And it's like the Winter Soldier becomes more socially aware than the black man who should be leading this conversation. And it's the most baffling piece of writing in the MCU to date. And now we come to Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley's treatment in this, as well as Brave New World, is like the weirdest thing. Like, Again, as I said, it's the MCU choices for Isaiah Bradley, The Winter Soldier, and Brave New World is wild. And again, after seeing interviews with Anthony Mackie, I feel this is like a joint effort. But Anthony Mackie is Marvel's stand-in for the Tuskegee experiments and tells Sam exactly how America treats their black heroes. Sam's response to this is, "You're wrong and things are different." It's like, why would Sam say this in that way? It makes him look dismissive, naive. Maybe. I mean, I don't want to give him that out, but disconnected from his own history. Instead of honoring Isaiah, Sam lectures him. And the man has lived some real cruelty. So Isaiah's in the wrong for feeling a certain way because he was experimented on and jailed. As I said early in this video, Sam is the only Avenger not good at avenging, because Sam fails at saving the villain of his story. Captain America is supposed to save people, even the enemies. Sam doesn't. Carly dies, and Sam never truly connects with her because the show already positions him as somebody who denies systematic oppression. So again, our new Captain America fails at being Captain America. The Brave New World, and I won't stay here too long, but Brave New World is the greatest Sam Wilson diss track of all time. Like, it goes up there with Hit 'Em Up, Who Shot Ya, the Grinch Who Stole Christmas song. Like, it's the greatest diss track. I mean, it may be better than No Vaseline. Because of rewrites and reshoots, we never are told or get to see if Giancarlo's Sidewinder is a superhuman or not. That being said, we have to watch as Sam, Captain America, I think it's Sidewinder or Copperhead. I think he's Sidewinder, but correct me in the comments. Struggles against this geriatric villain, and we are expected to do the Olympic levels mental gymnastics to believe that the same man beats the Red Hulk. And I get what you're saying. Like, he's in this vibranium suit thing and he can take a lot of damage. I get that. But like, this is where we're in like dangerous, like, not dangerous territory, but like comic movie liberties, right? This is where the argument could be said, like, is it the suit that makes the man, or is it the man that makes the suit, right? That's the question, right? But you've been against bigger threats than this by this time, so it's like, where is your skill level really? Like, again, Sam is the only Avenger not good at avenging, so it's just a narrative whiplash. Even worse, and the more I talk about this with you guys, like, the more I'm like, damn, this is the greatest diss track of all time. Like, who wrote this? Like, Diddy had to wrote this diss track or something. I don't know. Like, it's just so wild. Even worse, the villain, right? One of the villains eventually he's just like, you know what, Sam, you're just not good at this. And I don't want to laugh, but he's like, you're just so not good at doing this. Like, I quit. Like, here I am, arrest me, put me in the thing. Like, he's like, what? I've never experienced a villain being so bored that he's just like, I'm here, y'all. Like, listen, okay, just let me tell you what I did, because you're too dumb to figure it out. Like, you're not going to figure this out. So let me tell you, it's just the most embarrassing thing. It's just embarrassing. I paid 3 times to see this movie in IMAX. Like, I support these films, but my criticism is earned. And so now we're going to get into the Anthony Mackie of it all. And I'm going to say this, like, Anthony Mackie is executive producer on Brave New World. And he's also, I think he's an executive producer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So a lot of these decisions he's aware of and he's not fighting for. So there's only two ways this could go. Either like this is like Anthony Mackie's perspective of the Black experience, which is like, okay, that's a weird ass experience, but it's not the most deftone stuff that I've ever heard from somebody who's also in the Black diaspora. Or he's doing some like Blake Lively-esque stuff where he's not doing anything at all. He just wants the executive credit for the executive credit. And yeah, that's stupid. But we need to talk about him because Anthony Mackie has one of the craziest egos of all time. And it's an ego that doesn't match up with anything he's done. First of all, I don't know what Anthony Mackie's contract is with the MCU, but whatever it is, it's probably not good. And also on top of this, like, I don't think Anthony Mackie understands what he is given or what he would have gotten if he gave a care about the character he's portraying or what he's doing. Because there's a level, and I've said this before, there's a level of immortality that the OG actors get that Anthony Mackie's not getting. So much so that the next 3 to 4 films that we're getting from the Russos, as far as Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, they're bringing them back. And as many people complain about this, this is obviously going to be the Russos' swan song. They're going to fix everything that happened between the phase 4 and whatnot. And this is their approach in fixing everything, which is like ambitious as all get up. But to do this, they brought back the original cast. And I say that to say there is a love for the original cast that is unmatched. So much so that the Russos knew that doing this guaranteed them an audience. Be it happy or mad, they are happy that they're coming back. There is literally the divide with Anthony Mackie that people just want him gone or dead. And if you listen to Anthony Mackie's interviews, you would think that he's part of that popular OG cast, and he's not. But let's get into this. Anthony Mackie is not in demand. Nobody's knocking on his door. So let's be real. Nobody's knocking on Mackie's door to cast him in anything, right? And his public behavior just does not help. From his Comic-Con appearances, and you guys could look this up yourself, but there are many Comic-Con appearances and interviews where he just comes off as dismissive, rude, uninterested. Like he's contractually forced to be there, and you feel that when you watch it. His interactions with a young Tom Holland it's odd. It almost comes off as bitter, as if like he's done so much, which he hasn't, and this young kid is at this level that he isn't, and it comes off like you feel it, like it's like, oof, man, this is so weird. Like, why are you hating so hard? Like, I can feel like the hate coming off of him that he's even at these cons or doing these talking tours, and that like Tom Holland is the popular guy and he isn't. The original cast had the media outlet had the press tour laid out for them. They shook hands, they kissed babies, they did Make-A-Wish events, and Mackie just doesn't get that. And again, if I'm the MCU and off of Mackie's like interviews, his appearances, the way he's coming off, the way Winter Soldier is going, the way we've treated him in previous projects, the way Brave New World ended up, like I wouldn't spend money on his press tour either. Like it's not good. Like I wouldn't be telling him to go out there. And again, like we've seen how when people who actually do like the character that he's giving them, people who love his Sam Wilson, his portrayal of Captain America, when they see him in person, they get shooed off and looked at like he wants to fight them. Like I don't know what world Anthony Mackie lives in, but this is not the 1930s or 20s where like I don't even know. I don't know when actors were like just walked outside or something or weren't approached for autographs or something. But his attitude is just weird. Like he's shocked and just disgusted that these people, these children, these parents like him and want to say, hey, great job. And again, I'm telling you again, nobody's hunting him down. Like if there's paparazzi around, they were there for somebody else and accidentally caught Anthony Mackie. Like it's not like he's hounded for this stuff. So it's his attitude is just really weird. And so the real ego of it comes from the Pivot podcast. Now in this podcast, and if this is like the takedown section, I guess like this is the takedown section. But hold on. So Anthony Mackie does come from these royal group of kids that I call Spike kids. Like he was in a lot of Spike's movies. I think one or two. And like so I usually call these people Spike kids because they come from like, royalty. If you were in a Spike movie, be it good or bad. The jury is out, but I can tell you I've talked to a lot of Black people in my family and just adjacent to me. And the movie that he was in, She Hate Me, is one of those take it or leave it movies. Like it's not good, but it's like one of those things that are on the Black cinema things to watch. But in this Pivot podcast, he talks about like kind of like outlasting people, and I'm paraphrasing here, but like that he's the solid fixture of Black Hollywood and he's seen all these young actors come and go. And he talks about Omar Epps, he mentions Michael B. Jordan, he also mentions Jonathan Majors. And immediately I'm like, on what planet are you outlasting Michael B. Jordan? Or what planet do you think you're bigger than Michael B. Jordan? Like right now, if Michael B. Jordan walked up to Iger, walked up to Kevin Feige and was like, you know what, guys, I really want a second turn at this. Could I be a variant of Sam Wilson and be Captain America? They would absolutely figure it out and he would take your place. On what planet, Mr. Mackie, do you think you're Michael B., the man who revived the Rocky franchise, the man who launched Creed 2, directed Creed 3, put anime fight scenes within Creed 3 and like revitalized what directing an action scene would look like. The guy who's a part of the team of Sinners, who's got like 16 nominations in the Oscars, and you have none. You are in your brain, your friends, your circle have allowed you to say this. Like there is, and I don't like quoting Joe Rogan, but there's a Joe Rogan podcast where he's talking to another comedian, and this comedian is like talking about how he would beat somebody, and Joe Rogan looks at him and goes like, "That is wild that your friends allow you to think this, but they're not your friends." And this is to you, Mackie. Like it's wild that your circle has allowed you to think that you outpace Michael B. Jordan. On what planet? Be so real. He mentions Omar Epps, and it's like, Omar Epps has been in so many things. And I'm just going to mention Love and Basketball and The Woods. Not The Woods, but The Wood. You guys knew what I meant. Those movies are cultural, iconic, Hollywood, Black cinema movies. Omar Epps is solid and goated. We're talking about Juice Omar Epps. We're talking about House Omar Epps. Dracula 2000, like the Book of Power. Like Omar Epps can do nothing right now and live off of his resume. Like, on what planet? You haven't even, you were handed Sam Wilson. You could have been iconic. You could have been immortal. Like, these are, like, the OG Avengers are immortal. Like, they are those characters. Evans will always be Captain America. RDJ will always be Iron Man. Scarlet will always be Black Widow. They are immortal. People are championing for you to be removed. You have no immortality to your resume. On what planet are you bigger than Omar Epps? Like, let's be so for real. Let's be so, like, I blame your friends. I blame your representation that allowed you to go on Pivot. The people on Pivot are also not your friends, because they could have been like, stop, wait, like, we're not gonna allow you to do that. Like, you look like a moron. Like, we're not. Jonathan Majors, like, you're bigger. I just read a dirt sheet today that said Marvel wants to get Majors back into the game, which is like, cool, let's do that. But Magazine Dreams, where is your Magazine Dreams? You don't have one. You don't have one. Lovecraft Country? You don't. There's not a, like, we just talked about Falcon and Winter Soldier. That series is such a failure. Where is your Lovecraft Country? On what planet are you holding Jonathan Majors' cup, his weird little cup? What? And again, people allowed you to do this. It's so sad to me. Like, that alone, his Anthony Mackie as an actor is just so gross. The way he treats people who are actual fans of him, the way he thinks of himself in Black Hollywood, like, as an act, it's just, you need to go. Like, somebody else, like, just Will Smith ain't doing nothing, bro. Like, just get Will Smith, man. He's just going on vacation filming it at this point. Like, just knock on Will's door. Like, it's bad. And the reality of it is, these kids do not understand nuance. They just understand that they're really seeing Captain America, and they're finally getting the representation, and they want to say hi, and to be brushed off by the actor behind the character, it really hurts. It really hurts. It's like taking one step forward and 10 steps back. Like, it's wild. If the character denies impression and the actor denies fans, like, that's just double failure. But I'm not the guy to just complain without offering solutions. And we're too late in the game. Like, whatever happens after Secret Wars happens, whether or not Sam, which I really don't think Anthony Mackie and Sam are going to be around much longer. I'll be shocked if he's still here after Secret Wars. But there is a simple fix. And again, hindsight is 2020. But the blueprint for Sam has been here already. It already exists. There are two characters that I'm going to talk about to make Sam Wilson a credible human threat. Option one, Sam is the MCU's Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. Make Sam a credible human threat. No serum, no Hulk stuff, just strategy, skill, and espionage. Sam works for Nick Fury. He's chosen because he's not Steve Rogers. He bends the rules, as we've seen him go on the run with Steve Rogers, and he operates in the information age. Eventually, he will become the new age Captain America. Option two, the Dominic Toretto way. Build Sam around family and loyalty. His Avengers, his people, his version of leadership. Either way, make him dangerous. And both these characters, Ethan Hunt and Dominic Toretto, prove the average human can still be a cinematic threat. Marvel just refused to do that. That's it, man. The studio failed Sam Wilson, the writing failed Sam Wilson, and Anthony Mackie didn't help. There is no saving grace. So you let me know. How would you have built Sam Wilson? Am I wrong? Or did Marvel fumble the first Black Captain America? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you guys later. Stay excellent.